We'd played rugby, but we didn't know each other. We actually met through a friend. My friend connected us, and that was sort of the start of the Tim and Jacko show, I guess.
I thought you were going to say it was love at first sight. It's kind of a perfect storm, really. Just very opportunistic. There was something that we thought was fun to learn, and then we kind of just got hooked on it. We went hard into that, and that was kind of an unintentional birth of the School of Calisthenics, because people saw what we were doing, and people asked us if we would teach them, because we'd got this kind of coaching context and experience behind us. We just took those skills and then applied it in calisthenics, and then took it to people who also wanted to learn, and it started very, very organically, just like that.
We have to change the way we look at our bodies if we're going to make any real change.
We just think it's an important part about the decision of how we train in terms of how we want to move for the rest of our life. The great thing about calisthenics is you can set a tangible goal. You can have something to work towards. And when you can do that thing, then you can take a photo and you can see it and you can capture it and you go, I've achieved a human flag or a handstand. Bodyweight training, being strong for our own physique and managing our own body weight, mastering it to a point, has served us extremely well for many, many years.
We were a little bit bored of traditional way of training, looking for something a little bit different. Literally, it started where we were just literally messing about in the gym, and everyone, there was no calisthenics rigs. We were literally hanging off just the machines that were in the gym, and everyone just thought we were a bit stupid or whatever. We were like, oh, we're having a bit of fun, and it was good that there was two of it. It'd be very difficult and quite daunting to do that on your own. But now you go into a lot of gyms, and there's there's a calisthenics rig in the middle of it, or there are some rings hanging up, or there's some TRX. There's some stuff that you can, or space to be able to do some handstand work, or there's a wall that people use for handstands. That's been created out of just the popularity of it, because like you said, when you're doing something that's fun, you're more likely to come back and do it again. And if enjoying what you do, because there's a playful element to it, allows you to be, or helps you to be more consistent, then you make more progress. So then you feel that sense of achievement, and then it fuels, that's then a positive cycle that this keeps sort of driving itself.
I also noticed in a lot of the videos that you guys have that there's a big sense of community. It's not just, here's your program, go do it on your own, but you guys have classes and workshops and you're hands-on with people. So speak a little bit about community.
Jack and I went into calisthenics in the early days by ourselves, but it wasn't long before people just kind of it's like magnetic. It's like if you see somebody else doing calisthenics, you almost can't really resist having that conversation. We didn't come from a gymnastics background like a lot of people who are very good at calisthenics have done. We started in our early 30s. It's a very different conversation. Always about bringing people in, make it accessible. That was our number one objective from the start. How do we make this stuff easy to get on board with? Because the benefits and the positive things that it brings to people are significant.
Time's gone on as we've sort of evolved and developed our own sort of evolution of our own training and our own philosophies around what's important with our training.
When you take on something like calisthenics, which is movement patterns and loads and intensities that they've not trained before, particularly through tendons and connective tissues, then it's really easy if your program doesn't have the appropriate amounts of balance, structure, recovery embedded into it, to just go and overload those structures. And the issue is if you overload tendons and connective structures, they can take a long time to heal. People thinking about sleep, people thinking about nutrition and training load, and those are your big rocks. If you move well and you're mindful about how you're moving, and you allow the body to recover, then you're just working in the cycle the body naturally wants to work. So if you can do those two things and get a decent amount of sleep, then you're gonna be 90% of the rest of the way there.
You can use and abuse your body for quite a long time, but eventually it will stop you. It will stop you from doing the things that you're doing if you're doing too much of it. You're not allowing that rest. Your nervous system will govern that, and having some simple ways to having an appreciation of everything that you do in your day is gonna impact your body and your nervous system.
You have to respect the body, and this is what so many people don't do. And it's kind of there's medal of honors that people think they're awarding themselves. I train harder and longer, train insane or remain the same. No, you're an idiot. Listen to your body. Your brain will tell you what it needs.
The big question is, what is going on in your head behind all of that, causing you to have either that addictive trait to training or not wanting to train because of you, or whatever those, I don't know. like use it as an opportunity to figure out what those things are.
The biggest thing that we need people to do is to train regularly. Like we want people to move and be healthy, and that's such an important part. So what I don't want people to do is kind of get paralyzed by thinking, oh, I've got to worry about training load. Like that's not the problem for most people. If you're training less than 4 times a week, you just need to train. Unless they want to change, they won't change. So they have to find that point by themselves, and then they'll be open to support. Don't let fear of failure or intimidation or anything stop you from the benefits that you'll get from learning to move in a new way. And we talk about exploring your physical potential.
Use your training as an opportunity to find out more about yourself and your body.
If there's things that you're not very good at, those are the things that you actually need to go and spend more time focused on. So we want to empower people to feel like they can take control of their own training, because that's the skill and it's an investment in themselves long term.